What was your experience like interacting with participants from Indian institution during this training?
Well, the purpose was to bring people together to share information. The three of us coming from the United States are experts in technology transfer. Technology transfer in America is the gold standard globally, but each of the three of us also is experienced in working with tech transfer offices in other countries, some of whom are as mature as the Indian TTOs, and some of whom are much less mature. So part of the benefit, I think, of coming together is to be able to not only share experiences, but from the American perspective, explain some of the experiences where we made mistakes, lessons learned that people could be aware of so that they don't repeat the mistakes that led to problems that we had to clean up in America. And then also to give people in the Indian TTOs the confidence to proceed, knowing that other countries are faced with similar dynamics, bluntly, lack of interest on behalf of the corporations, lack of understanding in the senior levels of the institutions, and a small volume of technology transfer opportunities. So I think overall, it's a case of coming together, realizing there are other Indian offices in the same boat, sharing information, getting feedback that what is going on here is in the right direction.
How important is this kind of two-way exchange in global capacity building programs?
I think the answer is obvious. If you don't do it, people don't learn. And there's a lot of learning to go on. Some of it, how you handle very successful projects, but also importantly, how you handle problems, which occur more frequently than the successes. Ashley, Dick, and I are experienced enough. We were able to talk about enormous blockbuster examples of success. Our university with the Taxol breast and ovarian cancer drug. Then to, as I said, mistakes. It's important to not simply concentrate on the intellectual property and the filing of patents, but market actively, move to get deals done. It's better to do a good deal and not a perfect deal, because some of the experience that I shared was that we had very successful licenses with products in the marketplace where the product sales dropped to zero because of changes in the market over which the university had absolutely no control. An example of this was the Taxol license that brought in hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties. And the company Bristol Myers Squibb moved away from our chemical synthesis strategically into manufacturing the drug using biotech and fermentation. It had nothing to do with us. Our patents still had 6-7 years of life. Our economics was positive. The yield of the process was incredibly high, but for strategic reasons over which we had no control whatsoever, our royalties went to zero. Similarly, we licensed out images of mixed drinks with very vibrant colors to a necktie company who sold cocktail collection neckties, roughly $40 million worth. We received $1 million in royalties. Everything was proceeding fine, and then casual Fridays hit America. Men stopped wearing ties, and our sales went to zero. So the lesson is, spend time doing a decent deal, and then get the company to get the product in the marketplace, because the market's incredibly turbulent.
Why is a program like this timely and important for Indian R&D institutions?
Well, I think I've visited India probably 6 or 7 times starting in 2007. And I've seen a maturation in the interest in academic technology transfer here in the country. Technology transfer has a long history in India. It started back with the creation of a institution like they had in Britain in the late 40s, 1940s. And it's evolved down to individual offices in large universities and regional offices for universities with more modest R&D budgets. So it's important, given the rapid change and the rapid growth, to draw in people with a variety of experiences to ensure that you remain on the right path, given the rapid growth, that the mistakes that were made elsewhere are known so you don't make them and slow down the growth here.
What outcomes would you hope to see if institutions begin implementing these learnings consistently?
Well, the outcomes are the outcomes from the offices. At the moment, people are very concerned about the inputs and the process, moving to a point where licensing deals are done. The outputs are the licensing deals and ultimately the products that arise from the companies taking the research, turning them into technologies and then into products. So your question to me of what outputs are bluntly products in the marketplace from all of this activity. Everything else is process, black magic, activities, whatever. The accountability for the expenditure of public money on financing these offices has to be the output. Now, the output can be products that save lives, improve the quality of life, or increase the productivity and competitiveness of Indian companies globally. Nowadays, in addition, there are technologies and companies driven to increase energy efficiency, impact global climate change, think about the use and the implementation of AI. So it may well be we'll see different types of outputs, but to me at the end of the day, from an accountability viewpoint, the answer to your question is I hope to see products in the marketplace based on the inventions of creative Indian researchers.